Every decision you make in songwriting should answer one question. Does this serve the song? Let's talk about it. So the big idea here is basically my fifth law of songwriting, which is that every song choice should serve the song. This may seem obvious, but honestly, a lot of people don't do this a lot of the time. A lot of people are thinking about serving themselves, how they can look cooler because of the song, or how their friends or their fans will think, oh, that's so awesome, which would be making decisions based on essentially being a show-off, or you might make decisions based on what you think will make the song more popular, which is not serving the song itself, it's essentially using the song to get something for yourself. So overall, this concept is about serving the song, and that really just means that you are putting the needs of the song above your own wants and desires. You're not trying to force the song to be something that you want it to be, you're trying to discover what the song actually is. You only make a choice in the direction of your song if it's one that ultimately makes the song better. Even if the thing on its own is great, let's say you wrote a really great verse for your song, and that's the beginning of your song. Then you write a really great chorus, but that really great chorus doesn't work well in context of the song you've already started. Then even though on its own the chorus is great, it doesn't matter. You should take it out and maybe write another song using that chorus, but if it doesn't serve the song that you've started, then you shouldn't make that creative choice. To help make this concept clear, let's talk about this in terms of cinema. So a good example of this would be the final fight between Luke and Vader and the Emperor in Star Wars Episode 6. If the story of that fight was essentially written to make Luke look cool and to make the whole audience go, yeah, go Luke, kick their butts, then it certainly fails. But that's not the point of that. And the reason why it's an all-time great scene is because the choices made ultimately serve the characters and serve the story. If you just wanted to make the final fight really cool, then Luke would probably dice up Darth Vader and then he'd move on and take out Emperor Palpatine. But instead, that's not what happens at all. In fact, when it comes to Palpatine, he's totally helpless. He can't even really fight back, which certainly on the surface isn't cool, but it's perfect for the story that he decides to take mercy on his father and the fact that he ends up getting punished for it, and it turns his father back to the light in order to save his son. It's very important that it goes the way it goes for the story of Star Wars and for those characters, even if it's not the coolest ending that could have been written. It certainly is probably the best one. And for bad examples of this in cinema, basically they're everywhere. I mean, we could talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which basically was just made to spawn off different movies and never even thought about like, hey, maybe we should make this movie good. Or maybe something like the Hobbit trilogy, which is based on a honestly kind of small book, and they stretched it into a trilogy because they weren't thinking, how do we best serve the story and make the movie as good as we can? But instead they're thinking, ooh, we could make a trilogy out of this and make lots more money. And that is not the right attitude to have, right? They're not thinking about how to serve the story itself or the movie itself. This is what we want to avoid. We want to make decisions that ultimately serve the song, not our own needs or our audience's needs or wants or anything but making a decision because it will make the song better. But hey, don't take my word for it. Paul McCartney says, with Let It Be, I knew it needed to be simple, like a prayer. I could have added fancy chords, but that would have cluttered it. The song wanted clarity. Or Freddie Mercury talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. Every section, every shift was what the song needed to tell its story. Which is pretty easy to believe because nobody would have ever written that song thinking, this is what will be popular. A song with 4 extremely different movements doesn't really have any part that repeats, and the song is over 5 minutes long, I think, or at least well over 4 minutes long. Nobody would ever write that song to be popular or for any other reason other than it is what the song demanded itself to be. Or Neil Young saying, every time I add something to a song, I ask, is this making it stronger or am I just flexing? If it's not essential, I cut it, no matter how good it sounds. Or Leonard Cohen, when you serve the song, when you give it exactly what it needs, no more, no less, it becomes a gift to the listener. That's the whole point. Or Tom Petty, who says, some songs need to be stripped down, others need to soar. You listen to what the song's asking for, not what you think looks cool. This is such a great point because too many people say, oh, complexity is what makes a song great. It needs to have crazy time signatures and tempo changes every 5 seconds. No. That is never what is going to make a song great. I'm not saying a song can't be great and can't have those things. If the song demands that, then yes, that's what you should do. If the song doesn't demand that, then you shouldn't do it. You should never write songs to just show off how proficient of a guitarist you are, or write a song to show off just how well you can sing or play the piano or play the bass, because the point of a song is not for you to show off. But hey, if you're good enough at something to write a song to show off how good you are at an instrument, good for you, that's pretty awesome. But anyway, the point is, when people tell you simple is good when it comes to songs, that's a lie. It's not always good. Sometimes simple is good. It depends on the song. If the song needs to be simple musically and have simple chords, as Paul McCartney talked about, then that's what it should have. You shouldn't have complex chords for no good reason. But also, if a song does demand complexity, like Bohemian Rhapsody, then you better make it complex as it needs to be. So in general, always be asking yourself, does this lyric or chord or melody ultimately serve the song? And does it add to the song's impact, or does it take it away? For instance, if you wanted to have a 2-minute guitar solo and it kind of just deadens the impact of the song, even though it's a sweet guitar solo and you're really good at guitar, hate to tell you, but maybe you should cut it. And I'm not saying that that's true of all guitar solos. Some guitar solos may add to the song and add emotional gravity to the song, and it makes it even better. Others, it just is something that is an excuse to show off someone's guitar skills. You need to determine which one it is and make a decision based off of that. If that solo really serves the song and makes the song better, great, keep it. Don't let anybody tell you to cut it. But if it is detracting from the song and just shows off how good you are at guitar, then probably get rid of it. So in short, serve the song and your song will actually serve your audience. And in order to make these choices and figure out whether they serve the song that you've started or not, you actually have to have a song started. So if you want some help with that, be sure to check out my free guide on 20 different ways to start writing a song. Because honestly, one of the things that I just see songwriters do over and over and over again is to take for granted that there's one way to start to write a song, but that is incredibly limiting. Too many songwriters just grab their acoustic guitar, maybe their electric guitar if they're feeling frisky, and they just are like, yeah, I start writing a song that is the same thing as just starting with a chord progression. But that's only one way to write a song. I think there are so many more. This guide covers 20 of them. So be sure to check that out, because honestly, you will get different results when you write songs differently, and you may find out that one of the ways you never would have tried to start a song is actually the way that works best for you. I used to write lyrics first all the time, but now I basically never write lyrics first because I tried different ways, and I found out that for me, often some of the best ways to start songs is to write a bass line first, or to write a piano riff first, or to come up with a song title that resonates with me and then reverse engineer what a song called that would be about. So if you're interested in a bunch of different ways to start songs, lyrics first or music first, because there are both lyric first and music first ways in this guide, be sure to check it out. My free gift to you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll talk to you in the next one.